Are live here on Twitch. I'm doing a review for the Nintendo Direct for February 14th, 2019. So that was yesterday at the time of me recording this. And this will be uploaded to YouTube. So hi on YouTube, as well as Twitch, obviously, because I'm streaming it right now. If you ever want to watch any of the Spicy Salsa gaming live streams or whatever, the podcast reviews like this, you can follow twitch.tv/BroccoClock. And yeah, when things like this happen, I'll review it. So, oh, and one quick thing before I start. If my mic sounds a little off from normal, the window in my apartment is still not fixed, so I legit do not have enough room to put my good microphone out because it goes on the mic stand and whatever. So I'm using just my Astro gaming headset right now. Not the most ideal thing, but it's the best I can do. But anyways, let's get started. I don't want to waste your time. We're gonna give this a nice letter grade at the end. We're gonna review the Nintendo Direct. So first thing, they announced Super Mario Maker 2, which is why we're looking at this right now. And originally, after the little trailer, this was the only game I wrote down release dates just for people who are interested and just whatever. I took a lot of notes on this. And originally, I don't think at the end of the trailer they showed a release date. I think they just showed this picture actually right here. But according to this from Engadget, I've never actually heard of that website. They're saying that it comes out in June. I haven't clicked on that, so I don't know what their source is, but I'm sure that's probably about right. But yeah, this looks really good. I think this was a good way to start off the show. It's not like the hugest announcement ever, but it is like a big, people love the Super Mario Maker, the first one, and having a second one, lol, having the second one, will be like a big deal for a lot of people. I have the first one. Personally, I wasn't super into it, and I have it on the Wii U still, which is currently, my Wii U is broken, so I can't play it. But anyways, good way to start off the show. And then they went into talking about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 a little bit more. And it's a good thing they showed it, so I'm not knocking Nintendo for showing it, but my thought on this game, just real quick, is it doesn't look very fun. I'm not gonna lie, I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 and the first one back when those were a thing, and I had a lot of fun playing those with my friends. But the gameplay looks a little outdated. It doesn't really look that great. I know the Marvel characters a lot better now than I did back then. So that helps, because back then I would just play as Wolverine, Spider-Man, I don't know, who maybe a Fantastic Four character, because I knew those when I was a kid. But yeah, but that's good. They basically just reminded people oh, it's coming out, and they put an emphasis. If you watch the Nintendo Direct, they put an emphasis on the Captain Marvel. I assume because the movie's coming out in a month, right? So they're you could play as Captain Marvel, and everybody's got a different ultimate, and I'm just yeah, but it doesn't look that fun to me. But yeah, they showed that off. That comes out in the summer. You're gonna see that a lot too. A lot of these games come out either in spring or summer, so that's pretty cool. And then we got Box Boy. So they started doing, and I've never heard of Box Boy, so this was actually new to me. It looks really cool. This is not what I was looking for. But yeah, Box Boy. Let's look at the wiki real quick. Oh, it's a HAL Laboratory game. Oh, okay. So that's cool. It looked really neat. I'm interested. I probably won't buy it. If a friend of mine gets it or something, I might look up some videos, or I don't know. Just because I don't have enough money, and for what it is, that's not something I'm super into, or I'm not super good at puzzly kind of games like that. But this is Box Boy and Box Girl is what they, right? Is that, I don't know, is that the full name of the game, or Box Boy plus Box girl. Yeah. So, but basically, yeah, I don't know what all this is. Whatever. There's Box Girl. So, it's gonna have co-op, which is really cool. So that's a nice little announcement. Just whatever. But once again, nothing that gets me super pumped up. This was like the worst, in my opinion, announcement. The Smash Ultimate 3.0 announcement. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we didn't get a new. That's this YouTube video. Whoever you are, Senpai Retro. Much bigger than my YouTube channel, I'm sure. Yeah, that's a good point. We didn't get a new character announcement, so I actually thought maybe they would hint at one, but no. This was the weirdest announcement, in my opinion, of the whole Direct. Just because they were like, oh, Smash Bros. 3 announcement, or Smash Bros. Ultimate 3.0 announcement. They were like, what's inside? It's the spring update. We're springing into 3.0 or whatever. And they showed this picture of the question mark in front of the Nintendo Switch, and they were like, what's the announcement? And that popped up in your face. It like zoomed. It did like a zoom in effect or a zoom out, whatever. And then they were like, and then it did the same effect with the same picture again. And they were like, you'll have to wait to find out. And I was like, okay, well, that's not really an announcement because I'm sure it's a good update, but you didn't tell us anything about it. It's like, we get Smash updates all the time. So I really don't understand. Yeah, I'm not really sure. And then they were like, remember, Joker's coming. And they did show like a little 3D, this picture here, you can kind of see it. A 3D model of Joker. But they didn't give us that much of a glimpse at him either. That was kind of neat. But once again, that was just a big nothing burger. I guess they just wanted to remind people like, hey, Smash Bros. Is the thing. And it gets updates sometimes. Also Joker. So that was... whatever. It was short though, so it's not like it really bothered me, but this was pretty cool. So next one, Captain Toad, treasure tracker. Oh, and by the way, if I'm like clicking on this sometimes, it's because sometimes I do get yeah, I know, like, right? Like I do actually get people who chat here and then I like to respond to them during the video. That's fine. I had that happen on the last podcast, so I always just like to pay attention to the fans or whoever's watching or whatever. Anyways, Captain Toad. So it's getting a free 2-player update. Now that's really cool because Captain Toad was one of those games that came out on the Wii U and then the Switch. I don't have it on either one, but I've always wanted to play it because I think it looks like a really unique, fun, like easy, not stressful game. But having it only be 1 player didn't ruin it for me. It just didn't make me buy it right away. But now that it's 2-player, and I'm like, oh, I could play this with my girlfriend or something. Now it's a lot more appealing because finding cutesy, fun, easy, but still good games is kind of difficult. Co-op, that is. You know, so that was good. And then there was like a paid DLC coming out that like added a bunch of things to the extra stages. I had to take a breath there. I've been talking for so long. And I'm not editing this video really. I'm just gonna kind of upload it as it is. So, pardon me if I start to like breathe out. Anyways, so now and then next, we got Bloodstained. So at this point, like, and before I talk about this, like, this is the part of the Nintendo Direct, right? Everything after Super Mario Maker 2 is just like, let's look at the Nintendo headlines. And then they, like, scroll through a bunch of games. So that's why I don't have much to say about a lot of these, but just, like, announcement-wise. This one was one of the coolest games I thought they showed. And I was really worried about this game back when they had to, like, restart it. They pulled a Metroid Prime 4, or rather, Metroid Prime 4 maybe pulled a Bloodstained, if you want to be chronological about it. But yeah, the 8-bit version or the 16-bit whatever, the one they had on the Switch and the arcade um eShop version of this looked really cool. I never got to play it, but it legit looked good, and I was like, oh wow, maybe Bloodstained actually is going to be really good. If you don't know about this game, it's a spiritual successor to Castlevania. Yeah, so this game is a spiritual successor to Castlevania, if you didn't know about this, and they start. Oh God, I don't even remember when they started development. This has been in development for years, and at one point they were like, we don't really like the way it turned out, so then the creator restarted it, or the director, um, designer, I don't know, whoever it was, cowboy hat, Japanese man, can't remember his name, who developed or created Castlevania or whatever. He left Konami, and this is what basically is happening. And your main character here, what's her name, Miriam? Yeah. They showed off that she can be customized. The fights looked really good. Now, one thing that I've never been a huge fan of in Castlevania is platforming, but I will say this. This game showed off a lot of like platforming elements in the trailer they showed, not just fighting, and a lot of them look really good. Like you can like bend gravity or whatever and like flip the map upside down. What was the other like? Oh, there was something else like really cool that you could do. Oh yeah, she like zapped. She like zapped the ceiling, and it did like if you ever played Sonic Colors, when you grab the blue wisp and you go into like the blue wisp diamond, and it like bounces you off walls and shoots you to like this spot you want to get to. You'll have to see the trailer, but like that looked really cool. So yeah, I don't know. This one looks really good. That one's also coming out in the summer, so um, of this year. So far we've gotten, assumedly, Mario Maker 2 in June, summer, Marvel summer, Box Boy spring. I think April 26th is still spring. Um, Captain Toad, part of it today, part of it a little bit later, but still this year. Everything so far is this year. That's just awesome to hear. You won't have to wait for a lot of this stuff. So after that they had Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is coming to the PS4. That's not Switch exclusive. I don't know if the first one was exclusive to anything. I never played Dragon Quest Builders, but this trailer looked really cool. It did make me want to try it. Once again, it's probably not something I'll buy, but I definitely want to like play it at some point. It's very Minecrafty, but with a Dragon Quest style, which is nice because you get a different little style from the same Minecraft kind of thing. And then they talked about Dragon Quest XI is coming to the Switch. Now that actually was a pretty good announcement for them because Dragon Quest XI was a PS4 exclusive, and it's still not coming to Xbox at this point. So that actually was pretty good for. Here, we'll pull it up. Quest 11, Dragon Quest 11. I've always wanted to play this game. I just haven't had the money to get it yet. Super broke. But plus with, just whatever else comes out. The Switch version, I guess, has like extra features. They said something like, I didn't quite catch it. I watched the Nintendo Direct 3 times, and all 3 times I like zoned out or something for some reason. But it's supposed to have like different battle tunes for every area you enter, which was not in the PS4 version, I guess. And they're calling this one like Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition X or S, which I assume stands for Switch. So, that's pretty cool. If I do get Dragon Quest XI, that actually makes me want to get it on the Switch over the PS4. Not only because it has some extra features, they also said like you can choose between English and Japanese. Personally, I just always go English anyway, but still, if that wasn't on the PS4 version, technically that's an extra feature. And RPG games handheld are the shit. So like Persona, in my opinion, should always have a handheld version. Doesn't. Most of them are main cons, but still. And then they announced like this little Tsum Tsum game. That's weird. It's called like Tsum Tsum Festival. Nah, that's not what I'm looking for. Um, it's whatever. I mean, it's just if you're a little kid or something, you might be interested. But it looks like it's just like a mini game. Man, all these pictures are just actual Tsum Tsums. That's not what I want. Um, Whatever. It's just this big like little mini game collection. It almost reminds me of like a Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games kind of thing. And then we got more Starlink updates. God, this game. I don't know how to feel about this game. It looks all right. Too many Toys to Life games. This cannot be doing well. Look at this. They're selling this one on the PS4 for $20. That's a battle pack. Oh, maybe that's not the actual game. Whatever. I work at a Target. It doesn't sell worth a shit. So, it is cool that they're getting more Star Fox characters. They're getting Falco, Slippy, and Peppy as playable characters, which you can see 2 of them there. And then like Star Wolf is gonna have this like big villainous mission, so you can take on Star Wolf. Whatever. If you have to, okay, if Starlink is only selling because Fox is in the game from Star Fox, and it doesn't sell well, so you have to put in more Star Fox characters to like make it good. And not that the game looks, because I've seen the game, it looks like a fine enough game, but for the prices you have to pay for all the figures and shit, and how uninteresting it is, it's just kind of mediocre, like little space shootery kind of thing. I mean, I don't know, it looks good, but not great. Nothing that I want to like invest in. If you have to add more Star Fox characters to get more people to buy it, that tells me something about your game. That tells me that your game's not good enough to survive without the Star Fox name. So it's basically leeching off Star Fox. Just give me a good Star Fox game. Like Nintendo, I know you fucked up with Zero, but yeah, just ugh, God. It kind of reminds me of like Skylanders with Spyro. The only difference is that Skylanders moved on from Spyro. Like even after the first game, Skylanders could have been successful without Spyro. This game is not going to work without Star Fox, and even with Star Fox, I don't think it's going to work. So the only cool thing is like you get these little like I guess we're going to Best Buy because I just clicked that. Like the little R-Wing figure. Like that's cool, but I don't fucking care. Like I'd rather just buy a full-fledged Star Fox figure. Whatever. I don't care about this game. That was stupid, but I'm not going to knock Nintendo for that. Once again, they have a deal with them, so of course they have to be like Starlink, and if there's something new to share, sure. Like I wouldn't dock them a letter grade for that or nothing, but that's just my thought on it. Rune Factory 4 was after that, and I am going in, by the way, if you haven't noticed the order they revealed them all. I never played Rune Factory. I've heard a lot of good things. I have a few friends that play them. I've always wanted to. It looks very Harvest Moon-y, which I've also never played. I played like an hour of a Game Boy Advance Harvest Moon. I don't know which one. But this game looks neat. Probably won't get it again. But I would play it if I had some extra time and money for it. They said like this version, so for whoever's interested, the marriage thing, did they say that was exclusive to the Switch version? I'm not sure if I caught that right, but that's what I thought I heard. So that's neat. I didn't realize that wasn't in all of them, because like in Harvest Moon you've always been able to get married, right? I don't know the games well enough, but feel free to leave me a comment and let me know about Rune Factory if anybody I'm very interested in it. Let's go with that. I'm super interested in it, but they haven't sold me on it yet. And then they announced Rune Factory 5. They didn't say anything about it. Normally, yeah, look, I typed in Rune Factory 5, literally nothing changed on the page. They just showed the logo. Normally when they're just like, this game's confirmed, like when they announced Elder Scrolls 6 at the Bethesda conference, was that last year? I was just like, okay. I mean, I think we all knew that Elder Scrolls 6 was in development. If you didn't know, you could have predicted that. Like, Fallout 5 is coming, right? They haven't said that officially, but we know it's coming. So when they were just like, Rune Factory 5, I was like, okay. But I give this a pass because they did show Rune Factory 4. So it's not like they just were like, Rune Factory 5 is coming out. We're excited to announce. And then not say anything else. Like, that would have been lame. Which is kind of like with the Smash Bros. Ultimate thing. Like, that's what I hate. I'm like, why you if you don't have information to give, you know, saying that there's an update for Smash Bros. Coming out is not really information, because we already know that. Like, there's always an update for Smash Bros. Coming out. I assume they kind of did that because it's going to be like a bigger one, but still. Then we got an interesting looking game called Oninaki. I don't have much to say about it. Yeah, it was from the studio behind I Am Setsuna, so that does interest me. But overall, this probably isn't something that I'm gonna be into. They didn't show a lot of gameplay. I mean, I don't know. They showed enough gameplay, but I gotta say, I really like the art style. Like, looking at these pictures, like, I put it in my notes too. Like, the art style is like purple and orange, and like it's dark, and there's a lot of, there's like red seems like to be kind of a significant, like, look at just oh, that's not a great picture here. Yeah, I got an error. Anyway, you can tell from here. Very kind of cel shaded. So the art style looks really nice, but I don't really have much to say about it. I felt like they didn't give enough for me to be interested, or rather for me to be sold on it, but I guess I'm interested to learn more. But I'm not really interested to play it at this point. So if you've played I Am Setsuna or Lost Sphere, maybe you can convince me. I don't know. I don't know much about those games. I know that I Am Setsuna looked really cool, like nice looking, but and then Yoshi's Crafted World, that's coming out. So, we got they were basically like, remember, that's a thing. March 29th, the demo came out. I actually played the demo yesterday. This is one of those cutesy games that I played co-op with, like, my girlfriend, so that's kind of what I was referring to when I was talking about Captain Toad. So, these types of games. And then we got, Fire Emblem. Now, this was like the big highlight, I guess. Like, this was what the Nintendo Direct seemed to be, like, really focusing on, because this got like longer segment than anything else probably. So Fire Emblem Three Houses, all these I like that a lot. I saw one yesterday that was like, somebody on Twitter posted, they said, I see what you did there, and they posted like these three with the Pokemon Go gym leaders or whatever, and I was like, that's funny. Anyways, yeah, so basically in this Fire Emblem, what they're kind of doing different, and this comes out in July, so it got a slight delay. I can't remember if I said this on any podcast or anything. I know I was telling my friends in real life, because a lot of people were like, Fire Emblem's probably delayed. And I was like, nah, if you've noticed Nintendo's trend, they constantly, like, announce games and then release them in like 4 months. So this was announced a long time ago, but they didn't show enough for me to be like, oh, this is going to be released in 4 months. Like when Mario Odyssey was showed, that came out like 6 months later, So unless there's like a big delay, which it just didn't seem like this was going to get delayed. I felt like Nintendo would have said something already. I told Josh, Danon Gork or whatever, the one who's on this channel sometimes, that if Fire Emblem was going to get delayed, it's probably just like the summer or the fall. And I was right. July 26th. So, small delay. And this looks really cool. I really like the idea for this. When I saw the first trailer, I was like, okay, it's Fire Emblem. I like the character designs look a little different from normal. But what is Three Houses? Like, what does that mean? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not huge on Fire Emblem stories. I just really like the gameplay, although the stories are very good. So you're a teacher in this one. and you get to pick a school. So there's the Black Eagles, the Blue Lions, and the Golden Deer. They all have like they all represent a region, and the region is like Farengard or what's it Farkas from Skyrim, whatever. They all have these like names that I'm not gonna remember. And actually, here's the protagonist. So Dimitri represents he's like the prince of the Blue Lions, and he's like leader of that class or whatever. Edelgard is the girl, leader of the red, and then I think no, Claude is the leader of the Golden Deer. And you can so in this one, like, you're training the students, like you're a teacher and you're training them, and you have to go out and like fight bandits, and the social links work differently. So like students like hang out and eat together. So in previous Fire Emblem games, they would have to like battle together, which they still might keep a little bit. I don't know. They didn't say, but to increase their bonds, they basically like socialize at lunch and shit like that. So that's really cool. I like that they're changing that up. And yeah. Oh, and excuse me. It looks really in depth in terms of how you train the students. So, like Edelgard. So if I'm part of the, I already forgot the name, Black Eagles, whatever they are. And I have Edelgard as my student. I can be like, Edelgard, I need you to focus on, like, magic skills or intelligence or whatever. So you get to really shape like these students, like what they're going to become for you. And you have to be careful, just like previously Fire Emblem games, because even though you're training them when you're out on the battlefield, they said that if they die, you're responsible for your student's death. So that's neat. Yeah. I think like I think this looks amazing. Like I'm really hyped for this now. Originally, I was just like, oh, another Fire Emblem. I love Fire Emblem. I buy every Fire Emblem game. There's a special edition for it, soundtrack, all the normal shit, whatever. I think Steelbook. Yeah. And, but the way they put twists on the really interesting Fire Emblem games, like this one, like, this is one of the most interesting twists. Actually, this might be the most interesting twist on a Fire Emblem game. Like, you're a school teacher, and it's not really about, like, kingdom versus kingdom, and, like, although it might get to that point when we play the game, but conceptually, that's not really what it is. So, yeah, that was a big part of the Direct. Super hyped for Fire Emblem. I thought that it was one of the strongest announcements, because they announced new things for it. But we also knew it was coming. So it's nothing like above and beyond. And you'll kind of see that when we get to my letter grade at the end. So next, Tetris. Now this was weird. Tetris 99. It is a Tetris Battle Royale game. This one is, if I heard them correctly, available now. So that's awesome. This looks fucking cool. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's Tetris Battle Royale. So there's, I don't want to click on an article. Let's like just look at a picture. This is a good picture. So like you can see it's an online Tetris game. So you're just playing Tetris and you can throw garbage at them, kind of like Puyo Puyo. If you've ever played Puyo Puyo Pop or whatever. And you play online with, 98 other people or 99, or is it 98? Are you the 100th person or are you the 99th person? I don't know. I don't know if that's the joke. It seems like a joke game, but it's just a very, just like, it's one of those games, like, I never would have thought of this as an idea. Like, this was such an interesting, neat idea. Somebody deserves a fucking raise, whoever works on the ideas for Tetris games, because it's not only hilarious, but legitimately looks like a fun game. And it's an arcade game, so it's not like it's $60. Like, this is, I haven't checked the eShop, but I would pay $20. I don't know if this is a $20 game. Maybe it's just a 10, maybe, but I'd pay at least 20 for this. Would I pay like 40? Maybe not. 30 is probably my limit. So if this game costs like 40, then nah, never mind. But I haven't checked the eShop. But anyway, so yeah, you're just like trying to eliminate all the other Tetris players by playing Tetris normally. But when you do really good, I assume is how that works. you throw garbage at the other players. Like, see this person where my mouse is down here? They're almost eliminated. This person looks like they're in, well, they're not going to attack anyone anytime soon, but they're in good shape for now. The person we're watching here, decent shape for now. Got some garbage, but overall, I assume that's the garbage, is the gray. So if your board fills up, you're eliminated. So it's just like Fortnite. You can get a victory royale or whatever. It's just, or Apex Legends or something. So yeah, that's actually really cool. I'm legit. That was legit one of the surprise announcements about this. Then we got Dead by Daylight. Do I even want to type this one in? This game's been out for a while. I'll just do it to give you a visual. If you haven't played Dead by Daylight, it's like an online, one person is a horror killer dude, this guy, and you have to hunt down the other 4 players, and the other 4 players have to like try to survive. They have to find the other 3 survivors and then like get help and find items. And I have no interest in this. It's a good game, but it coming to the Switch, I thought it was one of the weaker things, but that's coming out in the fall, so if that interests you on the Switch, but whatever. Deltarune, which now, Deltarune, I can spells. Ooh, I don't know what all that stuff is. Is this it? Oh, maybe it is. So it looked to me like this is from the creator of, oh my god, what's that game called? Fuck, with the little skeleton man. Oh, Undertale, there we go. It looks like it's part of that. Oh, maybe it's part of that series even, because it's got the logo. And so Toby Fox is developing. I assume he's the one who developed Undertale. I've never played Undertale. My friend, or Josh, he loves it. Absolutely fucking loves it. Oh yeah, it's a spin-off. Okay. So they had this funny little trailer with like a puppy. And then more puppies spawned, and there was fucking puppies everywhere. And then like the end of the trailer was like, there's not actually this many puppies in the game. And I don't see the puppy anywhere. Oh, there they are. All the puppies. And so this is a cool announcement if you're into that thing. I thought it was a great one only because it's free. So it comes out on the 28th, so in 14 days. And they did mention at the end of the trailer, they put a little quip in that said the extra chapters are not free. So this is chapter 1. So this is more of like a demo, but it is a full chapter, so it's not really a demo. And then they're going to be like by chapter 2, 3, I assume like up to 5 or whatever. So I don't really know what it was because I haven't played Undertale. So I don't know if it plays like Undertale or whatever. I couldn't really tell. It was just, the trailer was just like weird like that to me. But yeah, so that's neat. And then we got Damon Ex Machina. There we go. This one's taking a while to develop. It's scheduled to be released this year. As you can see there. Well, I guess, yeah, did they only announce? Yeah, I guess they just announced this last year, so that's not a huge deal. They had a guy come in, I don't know if it was this guy, Shoji Kawa, or who it was. I just watched it, but I didn't write his name down or anything. So they had a guy come in who's working on it with them. And they showed a little bit of gameplay again. Nothing we hadn't really seen. They're just these giant mechs flying around. I do believe this is multiplayer when they announced it. I can't remember. But they announced there's a demo coming out for it, so this is still a thing. Nintendo's just like, reminder, it's still a thing, but also there's a demo out for it, and you could play it today. And there's like 4 missions, and they encourage you to play through all 4 missions because then you get to fight a boss, which is apparently really cool, according to them. So, yeah, Damon Ex Machina. I don't personally care about it at this point. Interested, though. I am interested in that. I guess I keep saying that. I'm interested in all of these things to an extent. Like, Tsum Tsum, I'm not really interested in. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. But that one I'm interested in, but the more and more I look at it, I'm like, nah, I probably won't bother. Grid Autosport. This was Other than the Smash announcement, I thought this was like the weakest game they showed. Um, Grid Autosport is just like, it looks like Forza. It's got the like white and red, like modern, like very nice looking car style for you to drive in kind of feel, whatever. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't care about this. It looked lame. It just looked, and they were like, you can pick 100 cars. I'm like, Forza has like a fuck ton more than that. Like, you might as well just play Forza if you have an Xbox. If you don't have an Xbox, well, it's on PC too. So if you have PC, if a Switch is all you have, sure, get this for your. Apparently, it's really good according to IGN. But I don't know. I looked at this and I was just like, it looks like watered down Forza. Not like a bad game, just good. But you might as well play Forza, kind of thing, if you can. Hellblade. Now this, hey now, come on now, what you doing? Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. I never played this, so this isn't like a new game. Yeah, okay, well, in fact, no, I know it's not because, yeah, see, it's on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and they had said, that it won a lot of awards. It looked really interesting from a story perspective. It must not be one of those like heavy on the gameplay kind of games. It looked like more of it was about the story, and they said they took it or they used it on people. What did they say? The game was like developed using actual. Yeah, it's okay. Well, let's take a look. Let's learn a thing or two about Hellblade, so I don't just spit out a bunch of bullshit. It blends several genres, including hack and slash, puzzle solving, and psychological horror. Okay. This. It was a commercial success and well received by critics who praised it as a work of art and applauded it. Its uncommon choice of revolving around psychosis. I can read too. Yeah, apparently they like talked to during the little presentation Nintendo was giving. They were like, "Oh, the creators of this game like talk to people who suffer from psychosis or whatever to get a idea, and that's what makes it so good or something." I don't know. Looks really neat. Good thing that it's coming to the Switch, I guess. Sure, a lot of people will want to play it, or a good enough amount of people. Not a big heavy gameplay, but from a story perspective, it looks really cool. It's like Viking Hell. You go to Viking Hell to save your lost lover or something. That sounds really cool. Kind of like Dante's Inferno, though, but still. Psychological horror is always fun. And you could do a lot of interesting things with it in the video game universe. So that's a thing. This little game called Mortal Kombat. I don't know if you heard of Mortal Kombat, but yeah, Mortal Kombat 11. Wait, this is coming out next year? Is that right? I thought that game was coming out this year. Whatever. Mortal Kombat 11 is coming to Switch. I believe this. Well, this says it. I should have taken extra notes on this one. Did I miss something? Did I miss something about Mortal Kombat 11? Help me out. If anybody ends up watching this video. On Mortal Kombat 11. Did I type it in wrong? Do I have my Roman Mortal 11? There. Okay. What the fuck was I looking at? XI? Is that 9? No, that wouldn't make sense. Whatever. Anyways, Mortal Kombat 11. Jesus Christ. It's coming March 12th. Now, I don't know if the Switch date, I didn't write this one down in terms of the date, so I apologize on that one. I don't know if the Switch date is the same as the other consoles. Let's click on this and find out. I must have like missed this part a little bit too because I wrote it down, but I didn't write anything for it. March 13th. Whatever. I'm pretty sure that they had said, yeah, Mortal Kombat's coming. So, good for them. Unravel 2. Unravel 2. that game looks really cool. Nothing, once again, that I'll play. It's another one of those like puzzly indie kind of looking games. You can play with 2 people. You like attach each other with string. It looks like, God, it looks gorgeous. But so that's good. Another little announcement for them. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. I'm not even going to type that in because who the fuck cares? That comes out May 21st. Also, it has Liberation with it. Also, I apologize for flipping my notes. Final Fantasy VII. That one I will type in. Sorry, Assassin's Creed fans. That comes out March 26th. Yeah, I wrote March 26th for Final Fantasy VII on the Switch. So that's really cool. We haven't really seen Final Fantasy VII on other things. I can't think of, right? But that would be a very good like Switch like handheld like RPG game. Oh, I might actually get that one. Chocobo Mystery Dungeon. I've never heard of that. I know the Chocobos are from Final Fantasy. Everybody, I like the pun, comes west this March. I don't know if that's the same thing. Yeah, they didn't really say anything about that. They're like, Chocobo Mystery Dungeon also coming to the Nintendo Switch. And I was like, well, what is it? I don't know anything about it. I know what a Mystery Dungeon type of game is. And then they said Final Fantasy IX, which I won't even type in because, once again, they said that's available now. So, there you go. 2 Final Fantasy, or, well, 3, but 2 main series, mainline Final Fantasy games. One of them comes out in March, which is not that far, the big one, and Final Fantasy IX is available now. 2 more games. So we got Astral Chain. Now, I'm snapping with excitement because this looked really cool. It is being developed by Platinum Games. So this was one of the surprise reveals. And it was basically like, to me, I got the idea or the impression that it's like this like sci-fi world with these like demon / machine creatures, and it's like cops versus terrorists. So they gave us that much, or at least that's the impression I got. Hideki Kamiya is supervising it. Keep that in mind. This isn't his game. He's supervising it. So, based on that alone, to be honest, I don't think this will be as good as like Bayonetta and some of the other. I'm slightly concerned. Like, it looked really good. Don't get me wrong. It did look really good. But, oh, excuse me. How do I say this? Platinum Games in the past few years, let's look this up, hasn't been as consistent. Like, let's look at all their games they've released recently. So, after, Bayonetta was good, Vanquish was Anarchy Reigns was not good. That was good. Metal Gear Wonderful 101 was whatever. Bayonetta 2 was good. Legend of Korra, what the fuck? They made that? 8-bit Bayonetta, that's a weird thing. Wait. They developed Star Fox Zero? That's fucking crazy, yo! Anyway, I'm not trying to give you the history of Platinum Games, but Scalebound was canceled. I don't know about Babylon's Fall much. Nier Automata, so that's a good one. This game was whatever. This game was... Star Fox Guard was whatever. Star Fox Zero was poopy. Yeah. Point is, they haven't been super consistent. Bayonetta's been consistent. Nier Automata is really good. In recent years, and Scalebound was canceled, so I don't know what to say about that. But I'm skeptically optimistic. I think that's a good way to put it. The game looked really good. I wish I could show you gameplay just to kind of give you a better glimpse, but if you didn't see the direct or like the trailer for this, go watch it. The beat 'em up looks good. There's a lot of like Bayonetta-y, beat 'em up-y kind of aspects to it, which is promising. Um, so regardless, like I usually buy all the platinum games that are like the beat 'em ups. The beat 'em ups are usually pretty dang good. But like I said, they haven't been super consistent. This one just looks like they're putting a lot of heart into it. Like when I looked at that Turtles in Manhattan game, it just looked like they were kind of doing it just to be like, we're platinum games and also Ninja Turtles is cool. So, yeah, it's a new platinum game, beat 'em up. What more could you ask for? It's called Astral Chain, cops versus terrorists. Neat concept, unique idea. The fighting looks fun. It also like they like did this weird hint where they're like, "Did you notice there was like a second person?" Like I'm like, "Okay, so is it two player?" I assume that's what you're getting at. Like why did that's weird that you said that. Um so if it is two player, that would be really cool. And then they were like, "We're also sure you're curious about Bayonetta 3. It's coming." So, okay. They gave it the mention there. Just whatever. I didn't think Bayonetta 3 was canceled. So yeah. Um and then finally the big surprise. The big Nintendo shock. Ooh, drop the pin. Dropping the pin for this. I'm typing it in. Link's Awakening remake. This was the coolest fucking thing they showed. Like, Astral Chain, interesting. What was the other thing? Mario Maker 2 was a bit of a surprise, I guess. Like, I figured it was coming. Fire Emblem Three Houses, although I would argue Fire Emblem Three Houses was the thing that got me most excited. Link's Awakening remake is what got me most interested because Fire Emblem Three Houses, excuse me, I was gonna buy anyway, and I had an idea, and what they showed off new today was like, oh wow, that's really cool stuff they haven't showed before. But this just we knew something was coming. We knew it was gonna be good. This blew my fucking mind. Like, so, and there's one criticism from a lot of people, which I didn't quite feel the same, but I understand it, and we'll get to that in a minute. So, Link's Awakening, it opens up with this, like, cool, just fucking animated Link, and, well, it starts with, like, just the water, and then it shows, like, the boat, and it showed Link on it. I was like, oh, it's the fucking Game Boy one. I couldn't think of the name. So I was like, oh my god, is this a remake? And then they show Link, the lightning strikes, and then they show the island with the egg, which, god damn it, what's the errors? I just want to give you a good picture, but whatever. They showed this image, and I saw the egg, and I was like, Link's Awakening, oh my god, that's fucking cool. Like, remaking all these old Game Boy games that I don't want to go buy and then play in black and white is awesome, because they did that with Metroid 2. I don't know if there's any other. They should remake the Super Mario Land games. There you go. So there's a couple, like, they should do this with more. They're great. Now, the one criticism that people had was the art style. And I'm trying to look for a good... Now, I will say this. I don't see any, like, great pictures for it. I really wish Nintendo would just let me, like, watch the Direct as it's going and react. But you know how they are about copyright on YouTube. The art style at the moment I saw it, because like the animated cutscene was so impressive. They showed this, and I'm like, ooh, wow. And then they showed the art style, and it was very contrasting. So I do feel like they misled people a little bit on what type of style they were gonna go for. But when I look at this, it's going to give me an error, isn't it? Yeah. But when I look at the art style, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, there's a good one. You can kind of see Link's face here. He's got like the Earthbound face. He looks like Ness Link. There's a Chain Chomp. A lot of Mario references. I've never played Link's Awakening, so I didn't realize there was that many, or if there wasn't, there is now. I knew there was a couple, but there's like Goombas and one part. But anyways, so like the moment it went here from that awesome animated cutscene, my first impression was like, ooh, that's weird. And then as I saw the trailer going on, I was like, oh, this looks fucking cool. And I was down with the art style. Like, took me just a split second, but I did see a lot of people, including Josh, like right after, he was like, I was super impressed with Link's Awakening. And then I wasn't. And I was like, I still think it looks fun. I still think it looks awesome, but I do understand where people are coming from with that. But let me throw this out there. If you watch the trailer again, and, like, God, these so tiny. Watch the trailer again and tell me the art style. I feel like the art style looks good, but it's Link that looks weird. Now, I'm still okay with this. I think he looks adorable. The whole game looks adorable, but the art style is not that far off from like A Link Between Worlds, for example. And I really feel like ignore Link when you watch the trailer. Watch everything else, and maybe you'll feel different, because I don't think like all the, like, you can't see it too well, but like that stuff there, like that looks good to me. That does look very Zelda-y. And whatever. Like, I think Link's face is kind of what threw people off. I think it was the first thing people looked at, but like the chain chomp looks good, and like when he was fighting enemies, like the moblins look good and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this a lot. I'm sure everybody will still buy it. I think they'll ignore that fact, but the art style was the one criticism people had, but I did think that was the biggest. But anyway, if I were to give a final letter grade for this, I'm just kind of throwing this out there. For the whole Nintendo Direct, that is, I would say I'm going to give it a B. And I would say that that's mostly based on, so basically, like, they had a ton of new game announcements. Dragon Quest 11, or at least like things coming to Switch, Rune Factory 4 or 5. There was I guess the cons to this would be some of the games they didn't give a whole lot of information on, like the Smash Ultimate was not whatever. And there was a couple of just like not cares, but I'm not going to knock them for it, like Dead by Daylight, Grid Autosport. I'm not going to knock them for being like, hey, it's coming to Switch. It is advertising after all. I think that, and I'm being very nitpicky, I just think that maybe they could have showed more other than just like, I don't know. I apologize if it doesn't sound well thought out. Like, I had thought of it before and it was like a B. But, I'm just wondering, like, what else they could have done more. I think there was a couple of just like, oh, Bayonetta 3's here. Okay. Whatever. And then, obviously the lack of certain games, but I'm not going to throw it out there for what they didn't. I'm not going to knock them for what they didn't plan on rating it. So, I just didn't feel like this was a huge kaboom of a Nintendo Direct. Nothing extremely major, and that's why I'm going with B. Not that they have to do that every time, but my excitement level for this is about, I'm excited for a couple things. But there was nothing like Metroid Prime 4 or whatever. It was definitely like an early year Nintendo Direct. So I'm going to stick with my B. I thought about changing it for a moment, but nah. Just the unsurety on some of these games at this point. But I did think that's really the only con, is I just think that like there wasn't like something that really like I was like, boom, big, huge reveal. I mean, Link's Awakening, pretty close. but not quite. Maybe even a B plus. That's why I don't like giving letter grades, because it's like not a great representation. But I do it just because some people are interested. But other than that, I think it was pretty much all pros. Like, they announced a ton of things. Announced if there was a game coming to Switch, they weren't just like Dragon Quest 11. They announced like, well, what's different, like what's special about the Switch version. They're all coming out this year. Not a single game was announced for next year, and unless you count ones that don't have a release date, like maybe Astral Chain. I don't know if they set a release date for that. Showed off Fire Emblem well. Showed a lot of gameplay for a lot of games. Actually, they showed gameplay for like, God, just about every single game. So, yeah, we'll give it a solid B. It's very good direct. Just not amazing. But I would rather have more directs like this than just like, here's a bunch of shit and then Metroid Prime 4. You know, so, but whatever. We'll go with that. So, anyone, thank you. We'll try that again. Anyways, thank you for watching the my review, the Spicy Salsa Gaming review, I suppose, of the Nintendo Direct from February. I guess it was 13th yesterday. I'm recording it the day after. And if you have any comments on any of these games, or you want to let me know about some of them, like I'm really curious about Rune Factory 4. So if you've played that, or Rune Factory in general, let me know. What's it like? Tell me more. What games are you most excited about? Whatever. Leave some comments in the comment section below. And just let me know what you thought of it overall. I thought it was great. I had a good time watching it 3 times, by the way. So looking forward to a lot of Nintendo things coming out. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.